Oh, good morning. I'm laughing at myself. Now, that's a good sign. COVID or no COVID, being able to laugh at yourself is a good sign. And it has nothing to do with an early morning senior moment. Glad about that. Yes, I am. Thank you, Jesus. Listen, I was laughing because I really should know by now not to pick my phone up while that show opener is happening because I'm just stuck. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to start the show. Shaking my head. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Come off the front porch if you're still out there. There's room in here. Get in here, take your shoes off, and sit down. Grab something to drink on like I am. I've got my coffee. Welcome to the show, won't you please? My sidekick, of course, it's her, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. We finally had no more toasted hazelnut to warm up after it was made actually 3 days ago. I know, that's nasty, but hey, coffee's expensive. So we're back down to plain old Folgers. So starting my day with some Folgers in my cup. How are you doing and how are things in your neck of the woods? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. You know, it's as we move towards the end of the week, everybody starts dragging booty. I tried to hit the snooze thing twice this morning, but then I knocked the phone on the floor and woke up because I had to bend over and pick it up. Even I was like, but here we go. We got to get started. How are things going with you and your quarantining, your social distancing and your sheltering in place? It's going to be a little tougher this weekend for a lot of us than it has been thus far, the 50 plus days that we've been underneath this bubble known as quarantine. And why is that? Because we are approaching our very first holiday this weekend. Since this whole thing started, and it's a biggie. Mother's Day, of course, Mother's Day 2020, unlike any Mother's Day ever. And we've been talking about a lot of things regarding Mother's Day and how to do it differently, but still effectively. And today's no different. My guest today is Faith Suggs. You probably have seen her, know her. The name rings a bell, and it's for good reason. Faith was the 2-year captain at Duke University for the Blue Devils, and she's now the director of basketball operations at Long Island University. She holds a Bachelor of Science in psychology, so I'm gonna make sure she isn't doing like my husband and getting all up in my head trying to, figure things out. I'm a watch her closely. And she also has a minor in African American studies. So we're going to talk to Faith today. One thing that she and I have in common is we both are doing Mother's Day 2020 without a mother. In the physical presence, that is, meaning that they've both, well, I have two mothers that have passed on, and Faith has one. So we're going to talk about things like that and a whole bunch of other stuff. But first of all, let me welcome all of you to today's show. Start a watch party, won't you? Share this out. Or you can just invite a few people. It's not going to kill you. Right? It's what else you got to do? Invite people to get here to hear this great content today. We're going to have a great conversation because we're live streaming, as usual, across the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and of course, from our home base out in Phoenix, Arizona. That's right, sunny Arizona. Wait for it. E360 TV Live. Yes, it is. And I want to tip my hat and say good morning to my good friends, our sponsor this week, symposium.us, where your conversation can become currency. Turn your cell phone into a payphone. Get your followers to become pay-per-followers, so they will come and watch all the great things that you're a master at. I have clients that are over on Symposium right now, making additional income, which all of us can use. How are they doing it? Everything from storytelling hours for kids, vision board classes, cooking classes, yoga classes, you name it. People are stuck at home. People are stuck looking for things to do, things to learn, and ways to entertain themselves. And you can help and help yourself all at the same time. So get over, download the app at the App Store or Google Play, and you will find out just how easy it is. It's symposium.us, turning your conversation into currency. So there we have it. I am going to start today before we bring our guest in. I'm going to start by showing a little thing, first of all, that I found from Canada on global TV. It's just a 2-minute thing about Mother's Day during COVID-19. I want you to know, mark your calendars. We have a couple things going on Saturday, a couple special presentations right here on Bathrobe Moments. We'll be live streaming. The first one is, well, of course, they're both Saturday, May 9th. The first one's at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's a stimulus giveaway. One of my coaching clients, Mandy Kikta, is giving away $1,000, 5 $100 awards, and then a $500 award to people who have been nominated on her page, Mandyisms with Mandy Kikta. And we're going to award those prizes this Saturday live right here at 11 a.m. So mark your calendar for that. And then later that afternoon at 3 p.m. with Dr. Janice Hooker-Fortman, relationship expert, we're going to talk about how to celebrate mom from a social distance, but effectively, keeping everybody safe. And so that's that. So mark your calendars, won't you please? Did you know that this past Monday, the 4th, was Melanoma Monday? Did you know? Tell the truth. Quit playing. Did you know? I didn't, but I do now. And we're going to talk about that today because it's a tie-in to Faith's story today. So first of all, let me share the screen so we can take a look at this little piece just to get us on the right page about this weekend and our first Mother's Day under the bubble. So sit back and take a look at this.
Mother's Day has been celebrated around the world for over 100 years, but with many businesses still closed because of the COVID-19 pandemic and so many family members isolating and unable to see each other, celebrations and gifts might look a little different this year.
Mother's Day is a huge part of our business, as well as like florists, of course. And this year, mothers have really had their work out with the schools being closed. They've been doing a lot more caregiving for their kids. So I think they need extra pampering, and I wish we could do it for them.
This coming Wednesday and Saturday, Catwalk Salon Spa in Lethbridge is offering curbside orders to help mothers with some at-home pampering.
Well, you might not even be able to see your mom physically right now, so you can't even give her a hug and say Happy Mother's Day. So it is challenging. You know, maybe you can give her a foot rub, but don't give her a haircut. I don't think it's going to be a Mother's Day gift she'd appreciate.
Flowers are also a traditional gift, which can be ordered online and safely delivered right to your mom's doorstep.
It's like music, right? Like, how can you not like flowers, right? So it's like cheer you up. It's always bright. It's always bright colors and put smile on people's face, right?
If you want to give your mom an experience to share for Mother's Day, you can head online and find virtual workshops, like the one Artistically Mused is hosting this Thursday.
That's
The
cool.
video will be live on Facebook, but if they want, they can do a video call with their loved ones, mothers, daughters, family, and kind of look at each other while they're doing it.
Eldridge leads the class from North Bay, Ontario, but says her free painting workshops have attracted people in England and the United States, and hopes the event can be a good substitute for traditional Mother's Day activities. Eloise Terrien, Global News.
Okay, so the reason I did that, we were looking for ideas, and I love the thing about the virtual experience. And I did a little Googling myself so that I wouldn't lead you in the wrong direction. All you have to do is Google virtual experiences for mom, and you're going to see a ton of things pop up, just some great ideas, so you don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Make the most of it. It's the new normal, and we want to win, right? So there you go. So Faith, I know that she's here because I saw a bevy of security vehicles pull up outside, and then there was some pedal throwers, and then there was this drill team doing basketball things. It was really cool. I wish y'all could have seen it. Anyway, she's here. Let me see. I think, did y'all find that imported water she requested? Divas. Oh, oops. Oh, I see you got the water. I caught her drinking some of it. Yeah, he's silly. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Did you sleep with that thing on your head?
No. I formed it. There's a process. It takes about 10 minutes.
Okay. So how are you, Miss Faith?
I'm great.
You know what's really funny? When I was loading the pictures this morning, when you were little with your mom, you look just like her in some. Oh, I should just probably take care of that right now. You look just like. Let's look. This is Faith and her mom, Susan. Your courtesy of Schaefer Suggs for sending these. But then, like right now, you look just like your dad.
Oh yeah, it just depends on the day.
So you know about this back and forth thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought I was telling you something. Okay, so there we are. Faith and her mom, Susan. And this one is one of my favorites, at the piano, looking over the shoulder. You learned that one quickly. And this one is also my favorite. How can you not love this? That's, really, I was looking at this picture closely, and then the close-up of this picture, and I see you all over her face, all over it. Say hi to the folks, introduce yourself, tell them where you're sheltering in place from, and what you do for a living.
Hello, everyone. I am Faith. I'm excited to be here. I'm currently sheltering in Kansas. I was in New York, and it was a little more scary, so I moved a little more west. I am currently director of basketball operations, so a kind of a coach at Long Island University with women's basketball. So nothing glamorous, but some fun stuff going on.
Yes. So how long have you been at the school doing this?
This is going into my second year, so my second summer. Yeah.
Okay.
About
So
a year now.
Yeah. So I bet right now it's a lot different than it was last year at the same time.
Yes. At this time, we were in New York, and the girls were coming on campus because people who know that Division I athletes come for the summer, and they work out and knock out classes so they can kind of be ahead. But right now, all the girls are on online courses. And so we're trying to figure out how to keep them in shape and keep them active. But I'm sure they're extremely happy.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be worried, because I'd be worried because I'm worried. Thank goodness. Here's what I've done. I took out a pair of shorts that I like every summer that, everybody got that one pair where you're like, can't tell me nothing. Don't tell me nothing when I'm in these. So I took them out. I leave them on the guest room bed. Right. And I try them on every other day. Because I have been cooking and eating my way through, let's put it this way. I started with cooking recipes from both of my moms. I already finished all those. I'm into the grandmothers, and pretty soon I'll be calling up aunties.
Yeah, everybody has been eating and sleeping our way through this process.
Sure have. I ain't got no problem with it. Well, I don't yet, because I can still put the shorts on. But one of my guests, young Carson, he was on the Chef Carson. He was the kid that was on season 2 of Top Chef Junior. He's on the rowing team, and they do virtual workouts. So why don't you get all of them on the screen, Coach, and take them down through a good sweat pouring?
I would, but I think one, which is scary. So as coaches, we're worried, obviously, because we have a season prepared for it. NCAA, however, is saying that we can't run workouts just yet. So more baggage onto the worry wheel, but so you just have to hope that they're staying active.
Why is that? Why are they saying that's interesting?
I don't know. I think that once a certain period, well, because we're operating in waters none of us have ever been in before.
True.
So I think that they're kind of making it up while we go along. So I think probably around July we'll be able to get active again. But right now we're all just trying to figure it out as we go.
Okay. So have you talked to any of the girls on the team? I'm sure you have individually and stuff. What's the general mindset of everybody during this unknown time?
About the same. The hard thing is because most of our girls are in the Northeast. So all of them are all over. Some are in New Jersey, so some are still in New York. So they all are seeing different experiences. Nobody, however, has gotten any ill situations. Nobody's family members have been hurt. So that's what we enjoy.
That's good. Amen to that.
And so right now they're kind of still young and thinking that the world is moving along as it normally does. But it's hard because they're still in school and they hate it the most because they say professors assign us more work than normal. And I was like,
yeah. My husband teaches graduate school for University of New England, and I think he's been with all his extra time, even though he still runs his private practice. I think he's been getting complaints too that everybody's loading them up. That's why I'm glad I ain't in there. I used to hate online courses. Online courses act like that's the only thing you have to do.
Exactly.
You don't have to take a bath, nothing. You just got to sit down and do my work. That's the mindset. So what about this? You have a younger brother.
I do.
And he is I feel so bad for him, graduating high school.
I know. But yeah, he's 18. He's graduating. I don't even know when his graduation is. We had plans and everything, so that's all canceled. But he's right now so happy that he's trying to plan all these trips and trying to go see the world now that he's finding his newfound independence, his newfound adulthood.
Oh, he grown.
So right now he's so focused on that. He's not even thinking about the experiences he's missing right now. But that's young.
So do you play? Because we know, well, let's tell everybody, your mother, Susan, which we saw on the screen, she passed away from melanoma cancer, which Monday was Melanoma Monday. Who knew? And wait a minute, I got something for that. A Melanoma Monday. Okay, there we go. Who knew? So your brother and you, your mom passed away how long ago?
11 years. I was 14, so I'm 23 now.
Yeah.
That wasn't my area of study.
Yeah. Look, girl. I'm on one today. Listen, I get it. And that's interesting because when my first mom passed away, I was right in that same little area of growth. And how do you feel, especially like now, Mother's Day? It took me many years to really get over that. And I don't think I really have gotten over it because, now, I found my birth mother at age 32. And so I got to shop in the Hallmark section again on Mother's Day, which I thought I'd never do again. And now I'm married, so I have a mother-in-law, so I still get to do it. But for many years, I really resented, is the best way I could put it, that day, because everybody, you can't get away from it. It's like the 4th of July, which is my birthday.
It's nothing like Father's Day, for sure.
Right. And I ain't never had that. I ain't gonna get that lucky. So anyway, how do you feel about that? Tell us how you have dealt with it through the years. What do you all do? Because today we are talking about ways for us to celebrate our moms, living, non-living, from a distance. If you're sheltering in place with your mom, I know Chef Carson is having a thing for kids this week, Saturday, where kids can, they're making a tomato tart to show kids how to make a great meal for your mom to surprise her since you can't take her out to dinner. So that's really cool. And he's only 15. So what do you guys usually do to keep your mom's memory, to celebrate her on Mother's Day? And how different will that be this year?
Well, one thing that I'm blessed to have is a great dad who's kind of like the lead runner in our family. So he is someone who's been very adamant on having us, still celebrate Mother's Day. When I was home throughout high school, because I had 4 years of Mother's Days, with my family. We would do dinner, or we would go like nice to go to a park, something, spend the day together, family wise, just keeping her in our memory. But we celebrated the exact same way as if she was still here.
Really?
And then as I got to college, obviously I was in more independent angle. So that's probably when I started to become a little more resentful towards it, because I was alone. And it was harder because you're seeing everybody around you has moms. So that's always never, and that's probably one of the biggest battles that my brother and I have to face ever since she passed away, was just seeing everyone have a mother and kind of being on the outside of the situation. But the older I got, I know one special thing that kind of changed my whole mindset on it was senior year of college. Graduation was on Mother's Day, which it normally is.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
So for me, originally that was hard thinking about it. But as the day came and like the emotions and everything that came along with it, it was exciting. And yeah, it kind of changed my perspective on it. So now that I'm in the adult world and a big girl, I definitely look at it in a more graceful way. And happy to even have the holidays still, just so I can have the memories. Because luckily for me, I was 14, so I had 14 years of Mother's Days wrapped up in my mind. So yeah, I'm still very lucky, but we definitely celebrated it as if she was still here.
Now your brother, he was how old when your mom passed away?
We're 4.5 years apart, so 12, 11, 10. He was about 10, 9, 10.
Okay, so he's got some pretty solid memories too, that you both have. And yeah. So do you talk about, I know for me, let me ask you if this ever happens. Do you ever have those days when you wake up and it's happened in my world, because my sister, Sandra, we call her Bay. It's interesting. Many times over the years since our mom has passed away, we've woken up and called each other because it's like she's here. Just some days it's you wake up and you almost forget that they're not here. That ever happened to you?
It's something like that. And my brother kind of goes through it too, or even some days, I know maybe a week ago, I was just walking and a scent kind of like went across, smelled just like her scent. And it was like, I looked like a crazy person in the parking lot, like looking, like where did this go? Just so I could have another moment. But yeah, moments like that happen all the time. My brother is he's like the strongest person I know in a way, very mature, very composed. It's very interesting. I guess that's just what happens when you lose a parent so young.
Sure. So
he is the one who's kind of like normally the leader in something like that, where emotionally he's strong and he has such great strength. So whenever I call him or anything, he's like, yeah, it's okay. I know she's here.
Aww.
And so yeah, he's always been that way, even when you were younger, for sure. But I'm glad
like he's taking care of you.
Yeah.
But I've also heard that when that smackdown need to happen from a female direction, that's all you. Okay, so it balances itself out. How interesting. Now I'm going to switch gears here for a second. Then we have something to watch. I saw that your dadinger, sent me the new piece. It's really nice by Holly Rowe, ESPN's Holly Rowe, that she did on you, and that's new.
Yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, I want to show that today before we get out of here. Now, but I want to ask you something about your age group and sheltering in place, and if you think this will be a big deal or not. I'm working on a project with some people, and one of the guys that's one of the main players in it is a guy he's 26 years old. He has an agency, so he's in charge of a lot of stuff, that putting it all together for us here on the screens and whatnot. And he was sitting on the screen day before yesterday in one of our meetings, and he's like, "Yeah, I went out last night," and I was like, and we had just finished talking about Mother's Day plans. And he lives where his mom is, and was supposed to go over and do all the little things because he had been sheltering in place the right way. And then it had not even dawned on him that, wait a minute, I went out last night and hooked up with friends and stuff. I can't go for 14 days. I can't go in close proximity of my mom because she's at risk anyway. So do you know what's the mindset there with kids friends of yours, peers that could be within reach, of mom, Are they doing the right thing? How many of them sneaking out and doing stuff?
So I think so. I think the one thing about young people is while we're all independent, I've seen a lot of people go home after. So especially now that we're about a month, 2 months in, I have friends who are in New York who are staying in Boston who are going to drive down and stay and with family, because at this point now everybody wants to be around family because they've been apart long enough for them to be safe to come home. My friends and my people around me don't go out and socialize right now. Everyone's staying home, thankfully. But I do see it.
Are you guys doing a lot of virtual connecting?
Yeah, a lot of FaceTime, a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of social media connecting constantly, because that's all we can do now.
So who in your family have you seen become more needy with FaceTimes and this, that, and the other during don't even need to ask. It's like, how you just gonna ask it?
My dad calls me like twice a day.
Does he? That's because, you know, the sun rises and the sun sets and the moon glows, and just like a big pizza pie, all in the moon. That's the faith. Anyway, I just love the relationship. I mean, I tried one day to see how long inside the conversation, which was totally unrelated to you, to see how long it was going to take him to say the name Faith. I think it was like 3.6 seconds. Have you reached out to Faith? I was like, dang, you didn't even say hello. I'm just kidding. He loves his baby.
It's funny. Like he'll call me twice a day. Devin, my brother, will call me maybe like once every 2 days, or send me a text like, hey, like, meaning I need to step in because he needs some backup and with dad. And I'm like, okay, fine. That's the only time I hear him. But dad calls me like twice a day, and I'll pick up and looking at him like, what do you want? Like, you just called me 30 seconds ago. He was like, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did.
Yeah.
It's my face.
So Faith, let's jump over to I just love those stories. You guys have such a great dynamic. I wish everybody had it. I've been watching your show. Let's talk about that real quick. Then we're going to cut away to the Holly Rowe piece. Let people sit back and watch that. But tell us about this show. Faith. Oh, wait, I'm ready for that. Okay, hold on. There's this Faith, Family, and Focus, also known in for those of you in the know, F3, F cubed. And that's about as far as my math prowess extends. Don't ask me any kind of X over don't. So, you know, that's really why I don't have a degree today. I finished everything else, but that freshman math, 092 or whatever it was, girl, look. And I'm like, who's going to use math in real life anyway? Remember that one? When you used to think that?
All the time.
Yeah, and we really do use it. So anyway, here's the link for people to see, to get over on Facebook. You have a page there. Why this show? Why now? And in perfect timing. And what's it all about?
Oh, it's awesome. Faith, Family, Focus. Our mission is to use our faith as a vehicle to help others in their own strengthening process of the core, which is all about who we are. Using our story, which is an amazing story with constant adversity and a lot of happiness. So we're touching on a lot of things, a lot of sports habits. Right now, we're in the Making of a Champion series. So we're diving into what a lot of sports parents want to hear about: recruiting, preparation for the next level, etc. And then I dove into a little faith-focused conversations with some cool teammates of mine as well. So
I saw one of those. I think she was a teammate the last couple of days. Now, you know, your dad thinks you've replaced him with her.
Oh, no, he's okay. But I'm sure he has.
Y'all see how she had to drink over there? Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Too funny. Okay, I'm just starting to mess up in here. So let's take a look at this. I love this piece. It has some real footage in it with you and your mom. It's just a beautiful thing. So sit back for a minute, and then we'll be right back after this footage. Is there a name to this?
It's called Faith.
Oh, why did I even ask? Let me guess. Your dad named it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Schaefer.
Opportunity.
Here we go.
In the fall of 1996, Schaefer and Susan Hoster Suggs were expecting their firstborn. They were not expecting to hear some news that would change their lives forever.
When my parents found out they were pregnant with me, my mom had melanoma cancer.
It was very scary. It was very, very, very difficult because it was like a level 4. And at that time, we had not named
Who
our
that?
daughter.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, that.
There he is,
This
folks.
little girl. It was Faith.
Everyone has a story of why they are who they are. On February 3rd, 1997, Faith Suggs was brought into this world a natural-born fighter. Having a father who played professional football, Faith found her passion in the sport of basketball.
Faith Suggs. Well, not really looking
Dang.
for it. They set
Uh-oh.
Suggs. And there's her first points of ACC play.
Whether it's on the court, off the court, Faith is just always very passionate. There's a lot of love in her heart, and she will do absolutely anything for this team, for her friends, her family especially.
Now, isn't that the girl?
Anybody on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Faith,
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
will be Faith. 15 out of 15.
She's such a fighter. I've got a picture in my office of Faith, and she's ripping a ball, going after a loose ball and kind of ripping it. I think that embodies her spirit and her fight.
Her spirit, her love, her caring. Faith is a very caring, nurturing person, and I see that comes from her mom. I see Sue's grace.
Uh-oh. I like them shades. Oh. Oh.
She was my best friend and a great woman, a great leader, molded me who I am.
In 2011, Sue's
Wear that boat
melanoma
in.
aggressively returned.
Oh, my boat.
Oh, that whole summer, her back was bothering her, and we finally realized that,
Good morning,
she
honey.
had a burst fracture in her T3 vertebrae that happened to be cancerous. And unfortunately, we lost her in 2 months.
She was 44.
The impact that it has had on our lives, I can't begin to really describe it. But we've drawn strength from it, and especially Faith. And it was right before her freshman year. And I remember going to her freshman year and how basketball was that foundation, that was that inspiration that really kept her going. She was just phenomenal. She was the glue that kept the family together.
I had to grow up really fast. I had to help take care of my family, kind of step up and be that woman of the household, focus on my basketball career, having fun with things, enjoying every little bit, every day as it comes. And one thing with basketball is as you get on the court, you just have fun, you play with your teammates, everything kind of goes away. Any hardships you're having, it's just the best. It's like my safe haven.
As Faith was recruited to play college basketball, the Suggs family received a phone call from someone who understood the impact of melanoma.
And I was not aware that she also was experiencing melanoma, and that was immediately a bond.
I was floored by it at the time because I was just finishing and going through stuff. I wasn't done with so much of what I was doing. And I felt, without question, I felt a kindred spirit with Faith and her family.
I wasn't looking for somebody to replace her as a mom, but somebody could understand what that meant, what that looks like day by day, and experiencing how that disease has impacted our lives.
The worst melanoma I had was on my forehead, and they went in twice to fix that up. And I remember looking like Frankenstein a little bit when I was cut across the forehead. And then I had, of course, one on my neck here, and my hand here, and my leg here, and my shoulder here. But I have so much respect for Faith and her family for what they've been through together and how they've gotten strength from it. And I know that Faith's mom has to be so very proud of her and all that she's done. You look at that and you wonder why it had to go that way. You also wonder, why am I so fortunate? Why didn't it go that way for me? I'm a person who's benefited from early detection. I know that I've tried to manage it and had some difficult times with it. For example, coaching after a surgery on my neck. I think that was one of the hardest things I ever did. You get through things on a day-to-day basis, and you get strength from it. And then certainly you want to share that with other people. I know she knows I understand as best I can, never going through what she went through, of course, but being aware of and also trying to spread the word about melanoma.
So on February 4th, 2018, the day after Faith's birthday, the team held a melanoma awareness game with the Polka Dot Mamas Foundation.
I just feel very fortunate that as a head women's basketball coach, we can do things here. We can make people aware. We can bring awareness. And there's all, breast cancer, there's so many different things that you can bring awareness to. But in this case, melanoma really fits all of us at this point, and we want to get the word out. It's a killer. It's an insidious disease that often goes unnoticed and then takes people very quickly. And it's one of the #1 killers of young people. So I think we all have to do our part in educating people as much as possible, being proactive, and just simply letting folks know that we've got to be proactive with this, because it's a killer. It's a real killer.
Was not aware of the devastation and the power of that disease. And I think just bringing awareness to cancer, period, is so important, because there's so many people that it impacts, and the way it impacts their lives going forward, it's unbelievable.
Melanoma can happen to anybody. Just because you are darker skinned or you feel like it can't impact you, fair skinned people are not the only people that it can impact. And you should always protect your skin, whether you are my age, younger or older, because sunburns can be very bad for you in the long run. So I think that people should, really research what melanoma is and what it can do to you in the long run. And I think that they should always, talk with other people and support people, and to, wear sunscreen and be safe out in the sun.
Suggs draws the foul. A chance for 3.
Basketball has given me an oasis, an escape route, somewhere to go be myself, kind of like leave all the worries on the sidelines. It's been that place where I can bond with my dad or my brother, and I'm so thankful, because when I'm on the court, I can let everything go, but I also can feel my mom's spirit within me.
Sports is such a great stage for people to know some of these stories, and to know that there's stories behind the people that are out there on the court, whether you're coaching or playing. And for me as a coach, just being able to coach the women and come to practice every day and get ready for games, it just puts everything in perspective and keeps you moving forward.
The fight and spirit of Sue lives on. Everyone has a story of why they are who they are.
Wow. Gotta ring the bell on that. That's a beautifully constructed piece. It's 8 minutes and it feels like 4. And I gotta be honest with you. I found myself getting kind of verklempt. That's one of my husband's words. I mean, seriously, he'll be watching Call the Midwife. Oh, I'm verklempt. I'm like, what? Right? Don't use words that start with X or V or any of that stuff with me. Nothing over 8 letters. I'm just saying. So, no, but I found myself feeling some kind of way in there, because you know what? When I was watching you, and I don't need proof. I just know. I remember at one point when you were doing something, I said, I wonder if she ever looked up into the stands and really felt like her mom was up there looking, sitting there watching. But because I know honestly in my life now how the trajectory of it changed when my mom left this world. And I just knew that she had to be up there at the bargaining table saying, look now, my baby, da 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 da, and all these things. And I just always, when something happens that no one can understand, and they go, aren't you surprised? No, because I feel that spirit, and it gives me a sense of expectancy, because I know, and it's really, really an interesting thing. So talk about that, because as we go towards this Mother's Day, there are a lot of people because of COVID-19 whose mothers are not here, and they did not see it coming. They weren't sick. 2 weeks ago, they were here, and then within days, people are being snatched from us. So what kind of encouragement can you offer to people who feel like the sun will never shine again?
I think that the one thing that I'm so blessed to have was a mom for 14 years that instilled so many qualities in me that are so long term. And one of those things was the ability to talk to those who have passed on, just to talk out loud, just to feel their spirit. And so that's one thing. I know I talk every morning and every night in my prayers. For games, I used to talk right before while others were praying. I'm talking to her. So just in those small moments that you can grasp, those one-on-ones that kind of just have you a moment to take a breath, take a peaceful moment to just really reflect and just be thankful for the time you did have, helps you put this whole experience into perspective. I think that I'm just happy that I have those memories. I'm just happy I had those moments to hold on to. And I'm thankful, and I think I'm the luckiest person in the world to have those moments, to have those memories, to even have something to grasp onto. So just really just sitting in the moment and breathing and just remembering, and just focusing on those moments instead of focusing on the moments that you aren't going to have, because at the end of the day, this path and this journey, people go left and right eventually on your journey. So I think that you have to remember, though, even though when people like leave your life, they're still within you, they're still in their moment.
Yes.
The way you act, the way you talk, the way all your moral stuff like that is often instilled by those people. So you're still, I think is you're still living their life with them. They're still with you because you're carrying on all the things, all the memories, all the qualities that were instilled in you from those days before they had passed.
Yes, I agree. I often say to people that, it's perspective. And, there are many days where I see, like my mom's, both of them, they left clues in this world for me to navigate with. If I simply look around with a sense of expectancy, because I don't mourn the physical absence of my mothers as much as I mourn the void that their beautiful spirits left in this world. You just wake up and something's missing.
Yes.
And it's still, so, I tell people too, don't expect that. I don't ever want the day to come where I'm not fighting it like I am right now. I don't ever want it to become that far removed that it doesn't feel like it does right now, So, and all I do is I look at that and I go, I only hope that I can, affect someone's life, even in the smallest amount, a smidgen. So that when I'm, gone on to, the parade of stars, that maybe I will have left something for someone to reflect back on that makes them get just a little bit, verklempt. So, So let me ask you this. Let's change gears and move towards the future. I assume, because I know you have a boyfriend, I assume that one day, he must be, is he standing there watching?
No, but I'm just laughing because I know you got that from my dad.
I did. So I know you have a boyfriend. So I assume one day, maybe not, that there will be marriage and kids, and you will be a mom yourself. And so what do you feel are what's the top quality that you feel you've inherited from your mom that will help you be the greatest mom?
I think that her mannerisms are something that I've definitely taken on. I think my brother has as well. Devin has a lot of them. I think that we're lucky to have her mannerisms because they were so calm and collected. She was very graceful in the way she handled confrontation, where she handled uplifting someone. So in those type of things, I can see a lot when I'm facing something. On a daily, I face something where I think to myself, like, how would she handle this? And I'm just happy to have those memories and those qualities that I had witnessed and be like, oh, I remember when this happened. Let me do it. So now it comes naturally. It's kind of habitual how I act. So a lot of the mannerisms for sure are something that I have taken from her.
Awesome. I know it is with my mom, Lucille, even though she only went through like 8th grade, right? And she's from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She had the best sayings. Oh my goodness. The best saying, like, for instance, boy, you can say whatever you want to. I already know you're a silver-tongued fox because you look just like your older brother. This was in the first 5 minutes of us knowing each other. She goes, but just let me tell you, I am way too old of a cat to be licked by a kitten. And I was like, dang, so she had a whole bunch of those. And so she had a lot of wisdom. And, like she told me something that changed my life after she left here, because I used to always be worried about validation from outside of myself. And then, also when I found my family, my siblings all thought that I had died because that was the story. And some of them would rather I had stayed dead. And I remember she told me, because I kept trying to figure it out, and she says, listen, you mean to tell me you still don't know at 32? If something doesn't make sense to you, baby, it's because it ain't got shit to do with you. And when she said, I was like, because I was crying, and I was like, hey, so now when I don't waste time trying to figure things or people out. I'm like, you know what? The reason I can't is because it had nothing to do with me. So I keep it moving. So thank you, Mom, for that, And I just want to say this. I talk about talk about your mission, your with melanoma, and how you use things, because I don't believe we have to wait until our moms are gone to celebrate any or everything about them. But you definitely have this connection with melanoma and raising awareness. So tell us about that. Is there a particular foundation or anything that you want us to know about that we could help?
There's so many. I just know the one I have a personal relationship with is out of North Carolina, which is Polka Dot Mama.
Okay, we saw that in the piece.
Yes, and they definitely partnered with us with Do Women's Basketball with games. We also held our annual golf tournament that year, and multiple years, sponsored by Polka Dot Mama, with the proceeds go to Polka Dot Mama. They have a gala every year, so that's one that's near and dear to my heart because of my personal relationship with the people who run it. There are many, many, many foundations for melanoma cancer, because it's very, very, very popular in a way. A lot of people go through it. A lot of people more than you know.
Thank you, T-Lise.
I can share more information with you that you can share. I'll also put some out on Faith Family Focus on Facebook today.
Awesome.
Because Melanoma Monday was on Monday. So
it's
something that definitely, a lot of people go through it and you don't even know. So
you see, I popped "Who Knew" up on the screen, because when they said it's young people, and I was looking, what really stood out to me was the picture of her with the melanoma dot on her forehead, and then it cut to the current her and it wasn't there. And I said, I was thinking, I wonder how many people walk around just think, oh, it's just a mole. You get those when you age, and you don't really hear a lot about people passing away. But when she said it takes people really quickly, I think because of the experience with something snatching people quickly with this pandemic, people might pay a little closer attention to things that have that kind of a force behind it. Now, I'm sitting up here thinking, as we draw, we got about 10 more minutes. So is there a person in your life, Faith, that person or people, on Mother's Day, you call and you say Happy Mother's Day to, because in their own special way, they provide some of that? Talk about that.
Well, when I call my dad first, because he is the dual threat parent.
Yeah.
He's done such a great job trying to balance. Obviously, if you talk to him and spends time with him, he'll always say that he didn't try to fill the role, but more try to provide us what we needed for that role. So he's one that I call. I always check on my brother, because both of us have that relationship and kind of fill that void for each other. And then I always check on Coach P, as you saw in my video, who I have a very great relationship with. Such a great woman leader, someone who's inspired my life. A lot of the way I molded who I am today is a lot of the lessons that she taught me in the last 4 years. So I definitely check in on her. And she normally she checks in on me first. So normally that relationship, so I'll probably call her, but definitely number one is my dad, for sure. Mom, dad.
Now, do you believe, Faith, that in order that a person has to be your, actually wear the hat of mother to be a mother?
No, and that's one thing I learned, because I feel like the idea of mother, or the word mother, is it provides grace, it provides patience, I touch on a lot of like divine feminine energy, which doesn't have to be male or female. Divine feminine energy is just the being of just be. The moment to just accept all the beautiful things around you. And I think that embodies what a mother is, that female figure. So I think that anybody who has those qualities, anybody that provides that space for you to be in, can be in the role of a mother.
Last question regarding Susan, your mom, and you may have already answered it, but I have a feeling there's a different answer, a little bit different. And outside of her physical presence, obviously, what would you say the number one thing that you miss about
I think
her?
a lot of, I think it's not really much of the stuff that we miss. It's more the opportunities we won't have. That while we may have, maybe we have touched on it before she passed away, but I know a lot of opportunities as a woman for sure is something that I think about every day, is the things I don't get to experience or I will never get to experience.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, the wedding, and things you've already done with your prom, all those things where let's go find your, yeah, I get it. And some of those things, nothing can compensate, nothing. It's just, but you have so many other great things that somehow it just metaphysically, spiritually balances itself. And that's the beautiful thing about purpose, because everything that is within our space, it has found its way to us on purpose, and our stories have come to us simply on their way through us to the rest of the world. So we're just a whistle stop, So I really appreciate that from you. Last topic that I'd like you to get into, from where you live and where you exist, and a kind of a overall feel from your peers and you. When you guys talk about this term new normal, what do you see on the big screen inside your mind as far as what that actually means?
I see a screen in general. I think that the world is now becoming very virtual and digital more than it has been. I think that communications, relationships, all experiences that we have normally where we can have physical touch, physical conversation, is now extremely virtual and digital. I think that is unfortunate, but also very exciting because it creates a new area of creativity for everybody. I think everybody's diving into a new way for them to find how or a solution to figuring this whole process out. So I think it's exciting for me as a creative brain to see everybody finding the new way to be creative.
New way to be creative. Yeah, because it's directing each one of us right back to square one inside in order to make that happen. There's no template for this one. None at all. I'm just curious, have you, in your moments, because we have plenty of time to have you imagined what it would be like, or thought, man, what if we have to play games with masks on? Have you thought about that?
Yes, and I've even thought about how you play games with no fans. It's just it's such a different experience because sports are so strong. It's a community. And I think that by this whole experience happening, you're kind of taking away that kind of community aspect, because we finished our season when everything was beginning, and we never got to hold the final part of our conference tournament and obviously the NCAA tournament. So we kind of saw a little bit where they took away handshakes and they took away, the kind of the parts of the game that kind of provide the spark and the experience in the community.
Yeah, like when you were snatching that ball.
Yep.
So, and now your brother is headed to Yale in the fall, and he's a quarterback, right? So what about now his stuff? I talked to your dad about this, so I found that really interesting. He was blessed because a lot of his stuff was already done, but a lot of kids didn't get the recruiters didn't get to come see them. They didn't get to finish out their seasons or whatever. They're not able to start getting prepped and ready now. How do you think what do you see for how is this going to affect kids and their futures in school? Some kids count on it. They're going full athletic scholarship. So what have you heard, because you work within the industry?
I do. And I'm just glad, Devin, with football especially, because they're such late bloomers. They recruit and they commit so late. So there's a lot of kids who are normally going into the end of their senior year of high school still not finding a place to play. However, because I'm now in the industry and I kind of see everything, we still recruit kids. Kids are still, receiving offers, receiving opportunities.
Oh, good.
Little bloomers who maybe like require that little gap after the end of the senior year. It's really unfortunate for sure, but there's definitely film. Luckily, because we're in a digital age, there's film and plenty of opportunity to be seen.
Okay.
But yeah, there are some kids who are missing that opportunity, or even going through the whole application process of figuring out how to get into college. I know it's hard, for sure.
Yeah. So, in other words, don't worry, kids. Don't worry, parents. Just be encouraged. This too shall pass.
Yes.
Right? Because we're still going to have sports and be able to watch it. And okay, good.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Ding. There we go. Faith, thank you. Tell everybody when and where they can catch your show.
So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, Faith Family Focus is popping up on all the fun places, E360 TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Facebook Live, YouTube. Awesome. Tomorrow we have a guest, Ed Marinero, NFL player and actor.
Yeah. I remember him, Hill Street Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember him. Yes. Okay, yes, I'll be catching that one.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready. Make sure y'all put my comment up on the screen.
I will. I'm the host now, so I know how.
Yeah, and I'm trying. You won't pay for that one. And I'm gonna try to get a autographed picture out of him. So I'm just saying. I've never had a celebrity. Well, I think all my guests are celebrities. So Faith, thank you so much. You have what I call a rotating, a turnstile, a saloon door invitation, which means no matter what, there are no locks, there are no handles. It's always open to you. If you ever have something you want to share, you're just itching to sit on here and watch a goofy man for about an hour, call me and we'll get you back on here. But for the rest of you, Faith Family Focus, you can see it on E360 TV. Get over to the Faith Family. I'm going to put it up when we close the show. The link, get over and check it out on Facebook and all the other wonderful platforms where your digital television exists. Faith, thank you so much. I can't wait. I'll see you on your show tomorrow morning. My best to your dad and to your brother. God bless. Stay safe. And thanks again. Everybody, that was good, wasn't it? Okay. Faith Suggs, basketball extraordinaire star from Duke. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Tomorrow, still with the theme of Mother's Day 2020, all things Mother's Day, we have America's Supermom, Lachelle Adkins.